Good morning, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring within not just XRP, but the crypto market as a whole. XRP maintains its consolidation after tapping just about 58 cents and having a wick back down. We've maintained this exact consolidation, and if we go back here in the 45-minute, I'm trying to figure out the best way to emphasize this. I feel like it's probably like this, but I've been fighting with myself because we've hit it a couple times, and if you look at this in the 45, it seems to be setting up a pattern like this. We've hit a couple times on resistance, hit a couple times on support, and over this thinly traded weekend, it's going to be interesting. We came up overnight when everybody was asleep to 55.72, could not break out of the consolidation. Now the support structure is at 54.30. If it were to break 54.30, it gets a little dicey because then you can have a technical play down. What is the crypto market going to do over the weekend? Are we going to fade away going into Sunday? Are we going to have some kind of rally here today? There's two ways to look at this. A lot of the market is on a bull flag, but like I said yesterday, that doesn't really mean much to me because the crypto market is very, very deceptive. So just because we see a possible move up or a possible move on a breakdown, it's dicey on which way it's going to go. I would have liked to have seen it come back up, but it failed to materialize yesterday when Bitcoin came into that 77,400 range. I'm not saying that it's going to completely unfold right now. I still have a long position on XRP. And the copy trade, like I said, I'm riding it to 53.6 or 53.5. Because I wanted to see it to failure. Now this does break here at 54.2. And because of the pattern setups, theoretically you could, get rid of it at 54.20. It's tough this morning, but we'll get into this very deeply. I'm going to speculate here with everybody for a few minutes. Like when I look at it in the 4 hourly, the golden cross hasn't played out yet. Like unless we invalidate this golden cross in the 4 hourly, it's simply not ready to just break down yet. It looks like it needs another layer. Unless we're just going to invalidate this structure completely, it looks like we still need to go up one more layer, but that's to be determined. I haven't given up on this pattern, but it could cost me about $57 on this copy trade, which is fine. And then I'll wait until the next rotation down if that's what happens. But I'm still positively optimistic until this breaks down. Only because I still know Bitcoin, it went up to 77.4, but there was higher ambitions for Bitcoin. So after a consolidation, and I'll do an intro and then we'll get into this deeper. The technical play up is 78,356 off of the first tier of this consolidation on the megaphone pattern, on the consolidation on the handle on the cup. So we had a cup and handle and formed a megaphone. So we'll go into the details and see exactly where we're going to go. And I'm just letting it ride right now. I'm letting it ride. And looking at the rest of the market, I don't see anything that's crazy right now. But it still looks like we want to consolidate up. Like, that's just my personal opinion on XRP. Now, if that consolidation breaks, obviously it invalidates this thesis. And if we lose the 54.2 cent mark approximately, our thesis will be busted. So we have to remember this at all times. There's no way around it. If that gets busted, we're in trouble. And the reason why I didn't start back here is because we went consolidation. We could pull this back, though, into here, but it doesn't technically represent what we want. We started with the support structure, resistance, support, resistance. Now, if it comes back to support, it's at 54.26. It looks like it's trying to trend in that way, but it's an early morning, and we'll see exactly where the market makers take us. So good morning, 8:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, November 9th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And I personally feel like if it's going to do it, today would be the volatility day. And on the thinly traded weekends, there's a lot of diversion. On XRP, I had an open trade on IOTX. I've had open trades on IOTA. I've had open trades on HBAR, AMP. I've had open trades on ZIL. And the only one, and XLM as well, the only ones that haven't made me the return that I wanted is XRP and XLM. It's simple. They never had the continuation. So will we get that continuation today? XLM is now breaking under its consolidation. And the longer we draw these out, you know, it still feels like XLM wants to make this breakout. It was on a long-term pattern consolidation, and now it's consolidating over the top, and it makes it seem like it's trying to, on this descending consolidation, this setup, that it wants to break out from here. And the breakout target would get it up to that 12.7 cent zone if it played out true. Now, there are some areas that could beat us down at here, like 11.2. So we'll see, but it looks like we're still attempting to push through. It's just the longer we take, and if it rotates back down too much, it could invalidate this entire flag here. But I still see a flag. It's just a matter of if the market invalidates it over the weekend or if we do push up. It's very intriguing to me. That's why I'm playing this pattern to failure. You know, I could have sold out overnight, but I was sleeping, and I think it came up like 25 bucks. That's not what I was looking for with this move. But had I been up, you know, who knows what I would have done. But I would have just let it play, because I'm trying to get into a rhythm where I don't touch my trade until it plays out completely, whether it wins me money or loses me money. I'm playing a setup, and through the copy trading, it's just riding out. So we'll see what happens. Bitcoin is at 76,427. I'm going to keep it to the technicals. I don't want to go into the heat signature or anything this morning just yet. We know where the targets are if it breaks down. We have heat signature map down at about the 64,500 level with 1.2 billion in liquidity and just at 64,500 strike. So there is a lot of downward liquidity, but at the same time, we've got, you know what? I take it back. Let's look at the short-term over-the-top liquidity. We're going to have to see over the top the heat signature map. Just see if anything's developed that we haven't seen in the last couple days, you know, since that move up. Ooh. Yeah, see, there's so much liquidity there. It stopped at 77,500 area. And then when it came back down, if we come back up here, and you can see Bitcoin still hasn't broke down bearish yet. That's the thing. If you start looking at this in the 3-day, the 3-day still looks bullish. And it makes me feel like we still want to come up here, because the technical target 78,900 on this pattern setup, the first here after breaking the all-time high line and back testing it properly. If we start looking at this a little bit farther out here, we can start seeing some of these liquidity zones that are absolutely starting to build up here. And over the top, we've got some strong liquidity. We got 558 million at 77,500. There's a lot of liquidity that's formed. Look at all this, especially on that drop down, people going short. Look at all that liquidity we could grab by going up 1,000 points here, 1,500 points. You've got 351 at 77,700, 301 at 77,800. You've got, let's see, 501 million at 77,650, and that's current. That is currently available for 77,450, 579, 77,400, 549, 528 at 77,000. Look at all this money. Once you get up to 77,250, it opens up a ton of liquidity. If Bitcoin comes up here, it could grab upwards of $2 to $3 billion in exit liquidity here, especially if it's trying to do it for a further drop down. Now, that's never going to designate that, hey, it needs to come up there, because we could go down and come back up. But I always look at it when we're close to an area. I never like to just say, oh, we're not going to come up there and touch it. The fact that that's like 1,300 points away from that massive liquidity, it almost seems unprecedented that it's going to allow it to stay. If the short traders get out of this, they should be thanking their lucky stars. Because look at this. Look how much liquidity there is here. Holy shit. Starting at 77,250, there's 520 million, and every $50 or $100, there's another 500 plus million. Even at 387 million, 77,655, 495 million, 77,600, 575, 75,550, 544, 77,450, 568 million in short liquidations would occur there. There's a ton of liquidity here. A ton. And all that means is short traders that are lower than the price now are actually in some trouble here if it were to go up. This is unbelievable, actually, when you start looking at how much liquidity there is. If they leave that liquidity and you're a short trader, thank your lucky stars. I'm just saying, thank your lucky stars if they don't come back up to 77,500 today or 77,700. At 77,250, it literally starts a 500 million liquidation on the spot. That's less than 1,000 points. That's 900 points up from here. If it goes up 900 points from here, and that's literally, it's like a 1% move for Bitcoin. You're talking, it starts with 500 million in liquidity, and it would start rolling. You wonder how the price starts surging another 1,000 points all at once. If it gets into that zone, it could push us up near 78. Now, if it breaks down, we do know the lower boundary, so let's not sugarcoat it. We're in the monthly. Let's not sugarcoat it. If we break down, the first area that has real liquidity is right around that 66,700. There's 728 million. Oh yeah, you heard that right. 728. Then you start breaking down, you got between 3 and 500 million all the way down. Then you get to 65,000, you start hitting that 500 million, 500 million, 660 million at 65,200, 1.03 billion at 65,150 in long liquidations if it comes down there. Then you go down a little bit farther, 64,650, 1.23 billion in liquidation. 64,600, 1.16 billion, 1.15 billion at 64,500. So you can see this is the money shot right here. Anywhere from right up at the top, at 64,950, there's almost 1 billion in liquidation. You've seen it just over the top. So you see all of this strong liquidation here. So if you don't think we're going to come down eventually and tap this as well, so now you start to build a fundamental understanding. Like, are we going to go up and grab this liquidity right over the top here? And it's so close. It is so damn close. Yesterday we grabbed some of it, but we wicked up. So 77,250, there's 520 million just sitting there, and 500 million in segments to 400 to 3. There's a lot of liquidity there. There's a lot of liquidity below as well. So if you're asking me from a technical standpoint, I find it hard to believe they're going to let the short traders escape with their shorts when all that Bitcoin has to do is have 1,000, a 1,200 point surge would clear this entire chart out, basically. Let's see how high we have to go to clear all of the liquidity. Man, if it just comes up to that first target of 79,000, 78,900 after Bitcoin got past, I'm just saying, after it got past that 50 or 73,600, if it comes up to 78,356, that would get rid of a lot of these shorts here. 78,300, let's say. It wipes out this entire pink section. It just wipes out this entire section. I mean, you have so much. You have a couple billion there. Easy. Easy. Doesn't even need to go all the way up there. Just needs to get to 77,250 and it opens up liquidity. And Bitcoin needs liquidity for that big push down. It always has and it always will. Just like for the big push up, it needs liquidity. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out today. But I'm looking at that liquidity zone. And until it busts, I am not giving away what I have. I'm not giving it away. I'm not giving it away. So that's where we stand right now. Golden crosses across the board. These are bullish continuation patterns. It looks like to me. Nice V-shaped recovery here. Little bit of a reversal candle possibly, but it's pulling up. Pulling up. Maybe it comes down here to retest that, but I don't know. It doesn't look bad here this morning to me. It looks like a little bit of a fake out to bring us back down overnight because we got those strong demand zones. IOTA, same thing. We've got what looks like a bull flag playing out. It already tested the bull. Like a lot of people are going to say, oh, it can come down here and test the golden cross. It already tested it as it was happening. We've already tested it twice at 11.7. This is such a tricky setup here. It's such a tricky setup. The fact that they're liquidating up and down, it makes me feel like they're just setting up to open up above. Past experience, might dictate what I'm seeing in front of me, and we'll see. We'll see if this candle is more like an inverted hammer across the board, and then we start to surge here in the next few hours. And yeah, I've went over a lot of different charts, and I've speculated, but this is when I'm at my best, when I speculate. And remember, I do things the way I do from a standpoint of positivity over negativity. We don't play the victim here. We never have. We never will be. And we're never going to be the victim in this community. We play the winner because we are the winners. Universally, if you are watching, you are a winner because you're taking the time to better yourself for your investments. You're taking the time to understand the chart in front of you. You're taking the time to better yourself. So we do it from a standpoint of positivity over negativity. We do not show hate in this community. It's love over hate. I'm simply sick of all the hate in the world, so I don't do it. Not doing it, and I won't do it. I could have started the consolidation over here farther, but I wanted it to start after we had the down, a little bit of an up, and then we came down and touched our support. Then we hit a resistance, so low to high, to low to high. Now, technically, if I wanted to put this farther back, I could. And technically, I mean, we could, just so we have it set up from all the way back. But you can see how far this extends out. It's after the wick up, and then we created our consolidation zones. And it's easy to see like that as well. I don't necessarily like that because that was our false, that's fine. It's fine. Either way, that pattern's set up. So the more evidence we can get behind the pattern, the better. It's just when you take it down into the smaller time frames, if you try to articulate it to hourly, it still looks fine for XRP. As far as the consolidation on resistance support, it's set up as a traditional bull flag, which is funny because we have that wick exhaustion at the top. But if we break up, we'll retest some of that exhaustion. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go all the way up to 57.8, but a lot of times you'll see on wick exhaustion, it'll find its way back up, at least halfway up to 57. It feels like we're not done yet. But I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again in the future. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you got anything out of this, please consider joining the channel. Subscribe and join the other 27,000, almost 700 subscribers. We're about 12 away from 27,700. If you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto worldwide, especially in the USA as well, the lowest spot in leverage trading fees, no KYC and VPN is on BITUNIX. If you want to copy trade, you can join me there, but it's very volatile. So on this trade, we could lose $57 if it liquidates us. Well, if it stop losses us, I would never trade it to liquidation. But we'll see. No risk, no reward. No reward, no risk. But I encourage you on BITUNIX. If you're trading, the spot trading is phenomenal. The leverage trading is phenomenal. So I encourage you to get on board and become part of the team there. If you want to show me extra support, you can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army. Or you can send via Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, and that's on my YouTube homepage. Please share this far and wide, and please make sure to hit that like button before you leave. If you hit that like button, YouTube will recommend this update, and it'll allow me to push my content to a level I never thought possible, and allow me to reach an audience that even if they're not searching for my content, it pops up within the YouTube newsfeed. Simply from hitting the like button, my content will be pushed around. So what I'm looking for today is to see if Bitcoin comes up to that strong liquidity that starts at 77,250. It's 700 points up. And then if it clears all the way through 78,300, it clears that entire liquidity zone. So let's say you see Bitcoin go up 1,800 points. It clears the entire, there's like over $3 billion in liquidity. Let's just face it. And then after it does that, if it plays out the way that I intend, then we should come down to that 1.2 billion in time. Well, actually, there's several $1 billion, a lot, much more than several billion, let's just say. And it starts down at like 66,250, I think is where the first zone starts, or 65,250, something like that. So we'll watch this as the day goes on. I'll do a short early in the afternoon to update everybody on the progress, but it's going to be volatile. Either way, it's going to be volatile. Whether or not it can play out in the fashion we talked about, or if it breaks down in the fashion we talked about, is left for interpretation. Whether we want to say that this is going to come up and try to test the wick exhaustion a little bit, or if we're saying that maybe it's playing out at a little bit of a bear flag and then it brings us down to 52.20 or 35. So I said if you're copy trading, no risk, no tolerance, because this is just something I do. And over the last 3 days, for transparency, through spot and then through some finesse trading, I'm up like, my portfolio was at $5,100 to start the week. And to put it in perspective, it's over $5,700. So there's been over $600 in trading taking place this week, and I'm very happy about that. Now, if I have to give back $57 on XRP, so be it. All the other stuff, if I were to sell it, if it breaks the pattern, they're not going to be under. So the only thing that would be underwater would be XRP on this trade. XLM might lose $10 or $15. But other than that, the rest of them are fine. ZIL I bought low enough to where it's looking great right now. Same thing with IOTX, IOTA. So, I mean, everything's looking like it wants to have that continuation. But at the same time, everything's looking like we're one quick fair swoop away from just letting this implode from underneath. So, I did what I had to do. Overnight, I seen things were up 25, 30% in my holdings, and I just sold them. And then I said I'll buy them back if they receipt. So I don't have IOTX anymore. I don't have IOTA. I don't have ZIL. I just took the 30% on the copy. Or I mean on the leverage trades that I talked about last night overnight. Now XRP, I told everybody in the copy I'm playing at the failure. I don't want to buy and sell. Or until it hits its point. Because the fees are a little more exorbitant when you do the copy trading. So I don't want everybody to have to feel that tug. But hey, we'll see what happens here. I'm XRP Future Million. I'm going to leave it at that. Have a blessed day. And consider joining Tom's Army. I give you a lot of information. I'd appreciate that. Pay it forward mentality. It would be spectacular.